Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this new series of Dungeons 3. So this is a game that I've had my eye on for a while. I'm a huge fan of Dungeon Keeper, and there hasn't really been a game since Dungeon Keeper 2 that's really held my interest. We did have the other dungeon game whose name I've totally forgotten. Oh, crikey, what was that one? But it didn't do it for me. So, Dungeons 2 didn't go particularly well received, but Dungeons 3 looked good from the reviews and things of it that I've seen, so I decided to pick it up. And I was enjoying it so much that I didn't go to bed until about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, you know what, you guys probably want to see this as well, so this is what I've done. We're going to start a new campaign. We're going to play through a couple of the missions here. I'll start from the very beginning because the narration in this is spot on. Like, even when I loaded it up, so it's always referring to the various things as the evil. And when I loaded this up, probably because I have OBS open, it was like, and welcome back, Twitch Evil. I was like, it knows what I'm doing. So yeah, this game is great. I mean, there are a couple of niggling issues. I'm like, we'll touch on those as we get to them though. So, loads of narration, so I've left main screen. Oh, it is too. So I have tried to keep like most of the dialogue stuff up. The music is at this level. If I need to readjust audios, please let me know in chat, and I will do so. But for the meantime, like, the dialogue should still be pretty loud. So we're going to jump in. Let me know if you can't hear it, and I'll see what I can do to adjust. In fact, better idea. Let's go to extras, options, sound. Can you hear this all right?
The dungeon heart is being attacked. The dungeon heart is being attacked. The dungeon heart is being attacked.
And I'll do my best not to talk over it, because seriously, the narration in this, fantastic. Alright, here we go. Campaign. Main campaign.
The Crossing, followed by Tanos, the shadow of absolute evil. The shadow of absolute evil had crossed the sea and now sought the chosen target, a dark elf named Talia.
It's really cheesy as well, I should tell you. Oh, he's not the evil.
Long, long time ago, the absolute evil had, in the famous predecessor to this game, subjugated the known world and defeated good. Now, in a world full of blackness and despair, it spent its days sipping cocktails from the skulls of its enemies and forging new plans over a grilled unicorn kebab. Unfortunately, there wasn't much left to forge. A few orc wedges, the occasional trick played on the little snots. There just wasn't anything left to conquer. As the weeks and months passed, the absolute evil grew ever more reticent and seclusive. From time to time, one could hear a slight murmur from the depressed evil's super-secret laboratory in the depths of the dungeon. Its creatures grew more worried with each passing day, and even started to miss its ingenious evil tricks. It was a somewhat confusing time for them. No beatings, no torture, and no being sent to a senseless death. On the other hand, it was a rather nice change. Eons passed, and the unicorn supply dwindled until suddenly, one wonderful day, the evil genius evil joyfully burst from its super-secret laboratory. It finally had a new goal. An unknown continent, as often found in sequels, lay to the east, sheltered from the wicked evil by naught but a puny little ocean. It immediately had a fleet built. This was so powerful that it covered the horizon from north to south and was manned by the best and most powerful creatures at the devious evil's command. The fleet set sail for the crossing to this new continent, left the harbor, and sank. Yet that mattered naught to the couldn't give a hoot about its minions evil. It instructed its goblins and little snots to design an even more powerful fleet. These new ships were gigantic. Loaded with devious evil's second-best creatures, the fleet set out. And that sank as well. The annoyed evil saved his relentless anger towards the shipbuilders for later. Obviously, it would have to take care of the matter itself. With a sigh, it cast a spell and created a shadow of itself, a creature of absolute darkness and evilness. This shadow flew across the water towards the east. There, it would find a vessel, a corruptible being that would subjugate this land in the name of evil, and the shadow had the perfect target in mind.
So yeah, like I was saying, like the narration and the storyline in this game is just fantastic. It's so unbelievably cliched and genius. It's just genius.
The great paladin Tanos, hero of the totally Eastern Kingdoms and a repugnantly good fellow. He was visiting the fatiguing library in Tristram with his comrades to see his foster daughter Talia.
Well now, Talia, tell me about your studies. Are you making progress with the writings of the ancient sages?
Yes, dear father. I have thoroughly digested it and have come a step closer to the good. The desire within me to do evil is defeated.
Really? Excellent. I am proud of you, my child. Continue to concentrate on your studies. I must go to Stormbreeze to clear up a few matters. I'll be back soon. In the meantime, my loyal friend Grimly will protect the country. Should anything trouble you, you can turn to him. Isn't that right, Grimly?
Aye, of course, Tanos. I'll keep an eye on the damned elf. Your daughter. You can count on me.
Then I'll see you soon, my friends. May the goddess watch over you, and the light burn eternally.
Bon voyage, dear father. I'll make you so proud of me. Who does good is good.
I just realised.
Disgusting phrases like that always leave such a nasty taste in my mouth. These abnormally good heroes, on the other hand, had no inkling of the malignity gathered to the south. One moment a herd of sheep was peacefully grazing, and the next moment, whumph! With a fulminant explosive effect that ate up half our special effects budget, the shadow entered the world. His target, a dark elf caught between good and evil, was very close. As the shadow of the unspeakably evil moved through the world, all around it died. Plants withered. Animals perished. Sort of like a picnic with my family.
So something I didn't even realise, like there are clearly shades of Warcraft all over this game. I mean, even the artwork is kind of similar to Warcraft. And the Paladin, it's obviously Ulrich Lightbringer from Warcraft 3, and Talia is basically Arthas. He's going off to Stormbreeze. That's Stormwind! And this is in the town of Tristram. Tristram from Diablo. This game! Alright, so you start out as just the evil. You don't have access to anything else. This is basically just to kind of teach you about the mechanics. This is essentially the tutorial, but we'll play through it anyway. One other feature I love about this game, notice as I'm moving, everything around me turns evil. This is fantastic. And also, another little thing, when I'm in the... Oh, it's only actually literally where I am. So as I'm moving, and things become evil, the music changes.
The shadow of the far-off evil found itself very, very close to Tristram. It could practically feel its target's presence.
Take these lanterns, men, and let the light of the goddess shine. For the night is dark and full of terrors. And there's a pile of horse poo around here somewhere. I trod in it earlier. For the darkness! I mean, for the light! Sorry, I'm still in training.
Yes, well, that is somewhat suboptimal. Naturally, the shadow of the almighty evil was an incredibly powerful creature. But, well, light was a bit of an issue. It would certainly be wise to stay out of the lantern light. The shadow reached the entrance to Tristram. Fortunately, this one was not closed, but it was brightly lit. Luckily, there was an unfortunate guard on patrol that the shadow was able to possess, thanks to its incredible powers, as long as it wasn't in the light.
What was that? I think there was something wrong with that last beer.
Unfortunately, the Shadow's possession only lasted a short while before the guard was able to free himself. Still, it was long enough to get past the gate. The Shadow's target was close. So close. Talia, the Dark Elf. Soon she would fight on the side of evil.
May the goddess be with you, my friends. It will soon be time to open the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Come to the big square and join in the festivities.
Well, I don't know.
I had actually kind of planned to spend the evening in the bathhouse.
Friends, this orphanage is very important to my father. Tanos, you know, the mighty paladin, the one you really don't want to offend.
Yeah, all right, we'd love to come.
Excellent! May the light of the goddess shine upon you, and let us experience this exhilarating spectacle in the big square together. Follow me, my friends, for evil, the light, I mean. Keep the light burning bright, for the night is dark and full of terrors or errors or something like that.
Night is full of terriers. Oh dear, this game. And trust me, the humour is unrelenting. It will continue throughout. Oh no, a puzzle. This guy will keep on walking towards me. Oh dear, what am I to do? Actually, you know what? I could just nab him. Whoa. You gonna turn around? And stand there for a minute. I mean, one thing which I did notice last time is you have the Archmage standing over there. I wonder what you could do if you possess him. Yeah, this game does not take itself seriously at all. Not even in the slightest. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. There we go. Oh, shall I try and possess that guy? I'm really curious.
Stop holding the lantern in my face like that, boy. I am Grimly, king of the dwarves, and I am used to the cold, dark tunnels under the mountains. I have no need of any stupid lamp shining into me eyes. Now I'm stuck with that damned pointy-eared... I mean, my good friend Tanos' foster daughter. Curse him. A dark elf is a dark elf, and nothing will change that. The girl will always be tainted. Should have cut her ears off when I had the chance.
The despicable evil used the Shadow to get two heroes to beat the hell out of one another.
Oh, I got hit. Alright, so how am I supposed to get past this? Maybe I shouldn't have interrupted in there. Because you can only possess people that aren't in the light. Oh, I think I'm supposed to go through here. I don't remember. Also, that really hurt. Oh, I'm regenerating. It's okay. I have a feeling last time I let him finish talking. Yeah, I can't be going back this way, surely. Yeah, I think I just need to walk through with him. I totally forgot about having the Archmage last time. Oh, don't stop, don't stop. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, I'm apparently stuck here. Oh, we got through. Do we? Ah! Move! Move! Keep going. Yeah, I think blasting Grimly at that point was not supposed to happen. Just a feeling I have. So the last time I did this without like taking any damage or anything like that. Never mind. I've already got the achievement. It's fine.
In In the distance, one could hear the unbearably good bells of a church. They must be marking the opening of the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Heroes with lanterns began to stream in that direction. The crossing on a red signal evil shadow swore, or would have if it had a mouth, and tried to avoid the lanterns as much as possible.
Friends, we're gathered here to open this orphanage in the fatiguing library for our goddess. And in the name of my father Tanos, I'm glad to see so many of you here of your own free will.
And here we go.
Finally, the time had come, and the shadow of the passes in the slow lane evil was within range of Talia, the dark elf. The time had come for it to use its incredible powers to possess her for a short time.
My dear father would be very proud were he with us today. He would be overjoyed to see us give the young and the needy a place to live and thrive. That's why I'm happy to take this orphanage and destroy it utterly, and all of you with it.
What did she say?
Die! I feel the power within me. It's over 9,000!
Unimagined powers surfaced in Talia. The black magic of the dark elves. She immediately began to unleash these powers of chaos upon the world.
Okay, so we need to eliminate the population, which I think is basically just those three.
I'll tear you to pieces!
There we go.
The dark elf raged through Twistrom's inexperienced guards. She thereby built up a tremendous inner energy, which she released into the world as a focus beam, while screaming, Kamehameha! Meanwhile, in the fatiguing library, they waited eagerly with coffee and cake for Talia to show up and open the new orphanage. The energy beam hit the cake with a resounding zap and reduced it to ashes. Oh yes, and the rest of the building and everyone inside it as well. The narcissistic evil patted itself on the shoulder for this. Or it would have, but the metal armor always made such a terrible clonking noise when it tried. But then again, that's what little snots are for. Obviously, the Dispatch Shadow had found a perfect vessel in the Dark Elf. Talia had already earned the title of Employee of the Month, with the utter destruction of the fatiguing library, as well as half of Twistrom. The destruction of an orphanage and the bombardment of innocent citizens with magic missiles immediately made her the minion-wasting evil's new favorite henchperson. Her evil deeds complete, Talia withdrew into the vaults beneath the ruins of the fatiguing library. There, between the slaughterhouse and Mad Archbishop Lazarus's apartments, she prepared to create something powerful in the name of the absolutely ultimately evil. A dungeon heart, the cornerstone of any dungeon's power. Far away, Paladin of Light and Talia's former mentor, Tanos, was on his way to the Empire's capital of Stormbreeze. Naive and trusting as he was whistling cheerfully to himself, with no inkling of his foster daughter's dark deeds. Though he was aware that as a dark elf, she always had a core of evil in her. He had hoped to defeat it through religious indoctrination with ancient mad writings. Well, old bean, you thought wrong. The crossing, followed by Tanos, the heavy-handed evil's army moved further towards their actual goal. But for that, it would require a ship.
Sorry, I just realised that's where I got
The
up to previously.
shadow of
So we're doing
absolute
this.
evil, Twistrom in ruins. Talia, the Dark Elf, had turned to evil and laid the fatiguing library in ruins. Now she began to build a small power base in its vaults. Her first dungeon.
So one thing I didn't even notice in the background of that previous game, yes, there was the generic fantasy city, which was very good. But then also when you had the villagers in the background, it was the the troll face from the internet and the oh my god thing at the crying eyes, and did not notice that. Like, I'm noticing a lot of things in the second rendition. Oh, just the details! They're so good. Alright, we're gonna play. So Twistrum in ruins. And also she built the dungeon heart in Archbishop Lazarus's apartments. Wasn't that like one of the missions in Diablo 2, I think? I suspect it was. So this is where we see the game itself, where you actually have a dungeon to build the monsters and the recruiting.
Twistrum
And then also
looked like the leftovers from a heavy metal concert.
What? What have I done? Oh no! I've fallen to evil again. Father will be beside himself. He was right when he said, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Although, in a way, it was fun to be evil. Burning things, pillaging, and showing those nasty goody two-shoes where the hammer hangs. They just look down at me anyway. My revenge will be terrible.
While Talia was delivering a typical villainous monologue, something happened around her. From the depths arose a pulsating crystal, filled with the magic-savvy evil's power. A dungeon heart. Not to be confused with those dungeon hearts from other games. We don't want to be sued. Again.
Hello, greetings. What seems to be your boggle?
Secret mental messages were exchanged between Talia and the mentally savvy evil's crystal. We could explain this in detail at this point, but that would require a 3-hour monologue on my part, and I am definitely not being paid enough for that.
Right then. I will make these people suffer for mocking me. Father's henchmen never liked me anyway, and always insulted me, calling me pointy-eared. It's time for my well-deserved revenge!
The game logic internalizing evil had given Talia an assignment. Out there on the surface were shamelessly good places in urgent need of destruction.
Nah, no problem. I'll take care of it. I and an evil army.
Naturally, the strategically well-versed evil did not send its new general into battle alone. A dungeon had to be built, and creatures hired to provide her with a powerful army. Of course, the sophisticatedly thinking evil already knew which way the wind blew in a dungeon. However, should it be hit by short-term memory loss, it could effortlessly look up things in the fabulous almanac.
Is this the same narrator as Stanley Parable? It might be. Let's just mine out a proper treasure room here. So you can see this is really where the dungeon keeper comes in. You have the imps who do all the work, although they're actually called something else. What are they called in this? I don't remember. You even have the hand, which follows your mouse cursor around, which I kind of like.
The grandiose evil's helpers had not been idle. Well, they hadn't exhausted themselves either, but anyway, there were now some research projects the researching evil could pursue. The new improved research menu, TM, was now available.
Oops. So yeah, this game also has technology, which is this button down here.
The new improved research menu, TM, opened and gave an overview of currently available technologies. At the moment, the selection was still limited, but that would change. After all, this evil crusade had only just begun.
So here you can do all the technologies. You have various different monsters you can research. So everything over here are Horde. then undead and demons, and then at the top you've got like your just generic technologies, which increases your population cap, that type of thing. Furthermore, and this is something which I hadn't realised the first time I played this level, because it doesn't ever actually mention it, you can actually go to the overworld at any time. And you are actually supposed to do this throughout the game. So I spent like hours just mining this whole area down, and I was like, oh, if I click over here I can actually go to the oh. And that is like the big difference between this and Dungeon Keeper, is you are splitting your time between like the overworld and the underworld, which is pretty cool. So let's make sure that we have all the goodies mined out. What can I do? Can I build anything else yet? I suspect I need to do some research. I do. I need a hideout. And we can't research anything else. So now we're getting the hideout, which I think I'm going to position over here. And the hideout's best to do in 4x4s, and then expanding it from there. Narrators are different people. Okay, fair enough. So we're getting loads and loads of money. We're going to continue mining stuff out, because there are definitely things to find under here. You can find some treasure areas like this gold vein here, which has rather more money than the usual mineable sections. So what I tend to do is mine that out and then basically just stick a treasure room right around it. Then your snotlings are basically there just chipping away at it. They are not called snotlings. Snotlings is Warhammer. What are they called? Little snots. See? They're not snotlings, they're little snots. And we could actually get some more of those. So yes, I think I would like some more of those chaps. And I would really like to get Nagas, but we're going to have to build an army before we can do that. So let's go and hire some creatures. Getting some orcs would be good. And some goblins. So orcs are like your frontline warriors. They're really tough. They have armor, they have hit points. And the goblins are backstabby, roguey type creatures who do lots of damage, but really can't stand up in a fight. One of the big things in this game is your population cap, of which we have currently 5 out of 5, so we can only have 5 troops maximum. However, that can be increased through technology, which is what
payday.
This line is for. We do also need to produce some food supply, so I think we'll build a food thing over here. In fact, let's not do that, and then just mine this out. So that's going to be where the food is. Let's go and stick a hideout over here. This is where the horde creatures set up their beds and things. And we are spending money rather quickly. So we want to make sure that we keep an income coming in. This game is not at all subtle about saying which direction it wants you to mine in. So let's just keep that coming. Connect those up, connect those up, connect those up. And there, and there. Then in here we're going to set up a gobble farm, which I actually need to research. Usually you start with that one unlocked. Research. And then build it. So gobbler farms, basically, your people eat turkeys. That's what happens.
The exploring evil's little snots had discovered a room in the underground.
Ah, another one. Cool. So it just has a pile of treasure. So some of these under rooms have like treasure like that. Sometimes you'll find like groups of dwarves camped out down there, and sometimes more nasty creatures. So you do need to be a little bit careful about where exactly you move to. The other thing you can do in this, of course,
a spider nest
there it is.
Has been unearthed.
Spiders. So here we have a spider nest, so what we want to do is call on our entire army, and we're just going to drop
Where are you
them
taking me?
over there. So you can pick them up and drop them just like in Dungeon Keeper. And then they have a fight.
He's not going to get up.
And for a really long time I didn't realise that you could just drop them all at the same time. So it's one button to pick them all up, and then they are attached to your hand. Hello, hand, where are you? There you are. Hello, hand. And you can drop them. And before I was doing this one at a time, and it was kind of slow. And you can also slap them if they're naughty and you want them
Spiders
to
have
work
spread
harder.
throughout the underground.
Oh, more spiders. So let's grab the army again. We'll drop you over here this time.
He's not going to get up.
Alright, and then every time we kill the spiders, it basically gives us access to more resources.
Time
Whoops.
to die.
Okay, her voice is going to be really loud.